So if you're coming out to Fitness Street here in Phuket, Thailand, the fittest street on the planet, and you're coming out here to train Muay Thai, jiu-jitsu, MMA, wrestling, HYROX, or some other functional training, there's one question that you need to ask yourself before you even start training out here, and that is, the travel insurance that you have, does it actually cover you for the activities and the training that you plan on doing out here? It's a very important question, and we're going to talk about it more in this video. But before we do, these iced lattes here at Coca Paradiso, which is on a side street to Fitness Street, are amazing. Welcome back to the channel. As some of you are aware, I've been out here now on this trip for almost 4 months, training out here on Fitness Street here in Phuket, Thailand. And I've been covering many of the gyms on the island of Phuket, not just on Fitness Street. And for a little bit of backstory, I've been shooting videos like this for about 13 years now. Originally coining this place Fitness Street many years ago. Yeah, it's been a journey. It's been a fun journey. And just as a bit of side news, I found out this morning that the film that I played a Texas Command Center police officer in, the trailer has just been released with Liam Neeson, and you should go and check out the trailer. Looks like a really cool film that has been put together, and it was filmed in Melbourne, and I played a very tiny role in that feature film with Liam Neeson. I'm not sure if some of you guys are familiar. I have an acting agency that represent me in Melbourne. So I've been in various different films and TV shows and TV commercials in the last couple of years. So yeah, it's a fun side thing when I'm not doing the YouTube thing. I do some acting on the side as a bit of fun on the side. So NCIS season 2, Sydney was in that, played a police officer. Deadlock season 2, police officer. War Machine with Alan Richardson, played Soldier 102 in that one, and the list goes on and on. Anyway, it's just a bit of fun on the side. So let's get on to topic. So, you know, you guys know me by now, some of you do. Most of you probably don't, and that's okay. But I want to talk about travel insurance. The reason why I want to talk about this is because I used to live out here in Phuket and train all the time. And on this trip, I've been out here for almost 4 months, and I've spoken to a lot of people in this time of being out here. And there's a lot of people that come out here that either have the wrong travel insurance for what they're training for out here, or worse, don't have any travel insurance. Now, you might think this is going to be some kind of boring video where I'm talking about travel insurance, you need to get travel insurance. The reality is that when you're coming out here, I'll talk about it, the people that don't have travel insurance and get injured, either through having a scooter accident, getting a staph infection, getting food poisoning, or having an injury during training, are often the ones that go and set up a GoFundMe page and expect people to crowdsource their medical treatment, which I think is a bit ridiculous. I think, honestly, if you can't afford travel insurance, you can't afford to travel. That's my mantra. And I think a lot of people take crazy risks by renting a motorbike or a scooter out here, not wearing a helmet, not correctly licensed, no travel insurance. Absolute idiots, if you ask me. And only because I used to ride sports bikes in Melbourne, I've had 2 motorbike accidents in Melbourne on a sports bike, and it fucking hurts when you come off a bike. So if you've never had an accident on a motorbike, I don't wish this upon anyone, but it fucking hurts. So, and I wasn't even going that fast, and I was wearing full protective gear and everything else. So when guys have scooter accidents out here or motorbike accidents out here, often not wearing protective gear, often not wearing a helmet, often not licensed, often not insured, it's just a concoction of idiocracy. But anyway, we're not going to go down that rabbit hole today. So we'll split this up into 2 pieces, okay? Guys coming out here to train, just doing HYROX, doing functional training. Maybe you're coming out here to get ready for a HYROX race, or maybe you're coming out here to lose weight and build some muscle at a weightlifting gym. Maybe you're out here to do some kind of functional training at a gym like Kong, strength and conditioning, or maybe Pirate Camp, or maybe training at Unit 27 and doing the crazy death row class. Whatever it is that you're doing in terms of functional training or HYROX specific training, you need to make sure that your insurance that you take out covers that type of training in a foreign country. So personally, I use Safety Wing Essential. So Safety Wing Essential, if you look them up, will cover you for that type of training. If you look very specifically at the fine print, the wording lists in their fine print, weightlifting, cardio, and gym classes are covered activities, although competitive and professional situations can have exclusions. What that essentially means is that if you're coming out here to do training sessions, but receive money for it, i.e. you want to do a Muay Thai fight, or you're out here as a professional athlete or a professional fighter, and you get injured, you are not covered under Safety Wing Essential or Safety Wing Complete for that matter. So for most of you watching this, most of you are coming out here to, as I said, do HYROX, do functional training, to lose weight, to build muscle, go lift weights in the gym, something like that. Under Safety Wing Essential, you are completely covered. Now, the other side of the equation, so that's regular gym and functional training. The other side of the fitness street equation is that a lot of people come out here for martial arts. And this is one of the most common questions I get. And that is, Brad, do you know of any insurance companies that cover martial arts? And I say, well, I do know a couple, but the one that I personally use is Safety Wing Essential with the Adventure Sports add-on. So what the Adventure Sports add-on means is that you are not only covered for regular fitness classes, but if you get injured during a Muay Thai class, a jiu-jitsu class, so say you're rolling, you're doing, what they call rolling or sparring in jiu-jitsu, and you're on the ground and you tear a ligament, right? It happens. In jiu-jitsu, it happens. Or you get a staph infection like me. On this trip, I've been here for almost 4 months. I've had to go to hospital 14 times. I've had a really bad run on this trip. I've had a really bad streak of luck, to be honest with you. I got bitten by a dog. That was 2 months ago or 6 weeks ago. So I had to go and get 9 rabies shots for that and a tetanus shot, which required 6 or 7 visits to the hospital. And then I had to keep all my receipts, all that sort of stuff. So make sure you keep all your documentation. In the unlikely event, this is a side note, in the unlikely event that something were to happen to you and you have to go to hospital and you have to get medical treatment, keep all of your paperwork. Proof of payment, an itemized breakdown of your hospital treatment, a doctor's report, because Safety Wing will ask you for this information. It's much easier to get this information on the spot when you get released from hospital or from the medical facility than having to go back to the hospital and have to explain to the doctor, oh, by the way, I was here 3 weeks ago, can you please write up a medical report? Much easier just to ask for this stuff on the spot as it happens. So for me, I had a dog bite, I had to go to hospital a bunch of times, rabies, tetanus. That was a pain in the ass. I had to get a bandage around my arm. And then I got a staph infection, I think 2 weeks after that. A staph infection on my arms. I got the scar here, I had to get this surgically cut and drained and treated and cleaned and all this kind of stuff. And again, that required another 7 visits to the hospital. First for the surgery, then I had to go back multiple times. Anyway, fuck. So on this most recent trip, my initial out-of-pocket expenses for medical bills was around 1,000, 1,100 or 1,200 Australian dollars, but all of that got refunded back to me. So that is why I'm a big believer in Safety Wing. Absolute massive proponent. I love these guys because they fucking saved my ass. I want to just caveat that by saying that Fitness Street is not a dangerous place. It's not a place where you're likely to get hurt or injured. As I said, I used to live out here and I've been shooting the videos out here for close to 13 years. And this is, the first streak of real bad luck I've had with medical stuff in all of the 13 years. And I mean, I train like sometimes multiple times a day, 5-6 days a week, and I'm training at all the gyms. We're filming almost every day for the YouTube channels. Like my schedule, my life at it is fucking hectic. So I got the staph infections probably because my immune system, I was really run down, and that's usually when it kind of shows up. There's a few other variables that go into getting a staph infection, not just a suppressed immune system, but I've been very much run down. So point in case is that make sure your travel insurance covers you for martial arts in a foreign country. So with Safety Wing, the one I use and the one I believe in and the one that's covered my ass I always get Safety Wing Essential with the Adventure Sports add-on, and that will cover you for MMA, jiu-jitsu. If you guys are coming out here to do wrestling at Phuket Wrestling Club, for example, or grappling at the Phuket Grappling Academy, or any gym for that matter, not just these specific gyms. Or you're training at Tiger Muay Thai to do fitness classes, or you want to do jiu-jitsu at Tiger, or you're doing Western boxing at a polo camp, or Muay Thai at Sinbi Muay Thai, or Powerhouse Muay Thai. Like, it doesn't matter where, this insurance company will absolutely cover you, provided you're doing all of those martial arts with the Adventure Sports add-on and you're not doing it professionally. That's the biggest piece of fine print here. The moment you start fighting and getting paid for it and you get injured in the process of doing a fight and getting paid for it, you're not going to get covered. Simple. You'll need to find a different insurance company. And then the last piece I want to mention is scooter rental and motorbikes and things. And the reason why I wanted to mention this is because I know quite a few of you are not going to be riding scooters and motorbikes when you come out here because, quite frankly, you don't feel comfortable riding. You're probably not licensed to ride a motorbike or a scooter back home in your home country. So what makes you qualified to then jump on a motorbike in a foreign country and start riding if you don't even have a license in your home country? People do it. People do it. Now, a few things. If you are correctly licensed in your home country, so for me, I have a full motorbike license, and I used to own 2 sports bikes. I used to own a scooter, and riding motorbikes is my primary form of transport back in Melbourne. I don't have my motorbikes anymore. I sold everything, and before moving out here years ago, so that was a very sad day, selling my motorbikes. But anyway, so before you come out here, if you intend on riding a motorbike or a scooter or whatever, you got to make sure you're correctly licensed. And I hate talking about this because it seems so simple, but the number of people I meet out here that do not have a fucking license and do not wear a helmet and don't have insurance is the most irresponsible thing. And these are fully grown adults. What the fuck, man? Like, you can't get away with that in your home country. And some people complain about it. Why did I get fined 10,000 baht for not having a license? Well, you're pretty sure you're going to get fined in your home country for doing the same thing. Yeah, you driving your car and riding a motorbike in your home country, not licensed? I don't think so. And the cops are stopping people on Fitness Street now and checking for your license. And if you're not wearing a helmet, this happened only 3 weeks ago. Cops are stopping people on Fitness Street that are not correctly licensed. And they're starting to do that more and more now. So you got to be careful. If you're watching this, you think you can get away with it, you won't be getting away with it for very long. So that's the truth. So anyway, this is what an international driver's permit looks like, or you get a Thai driver's license equivalent, right? This is what I got. I get stopped by the cops probably on average 4 or 5 times a week, because I travel down to Rawai, the south side of the island, and at Shillong Circle, the cops just sit there and they love plucking foreigners out of the traffic and whisking them away and getting them to show their license. I pretty much have this in my back pocket. The moment they pull me aside, I literally just whip it out of my pocket and show them. So this is what an international driver's permit looks like. You have to have this. If you don't have it, you're running the risk of getting fined. Some guys getting fined 10,000 baht for not being correctly licensed. And more importantly, you're not covered for travel insurance. If you're not correctly licensed, you're not wearing a helmet, and you're intoxicated, you are not covered for travel insurance. So Safety Wing Essential will cover you on the basic plan if you have a scooter accident in terms of your medical expenses relating to any kind of scooter accident, provided you're correctly licensed and you have a helmet and you're not intoxicated and this kind of stuff, provided the motorbike is not above 50cc. It's important to mention this because a lot of people come out to Fitness Street and they're renting scooters at 125, 150cc. We're talking engine capacity here. So if you have Safety Wing Essential, just the basic plan, and you have an injury, like get hurt on the motorbike, you're not covered, because if it's more than 50cc, you're not going to be covered, even if you're licensed and wearing a helmet and all that stuff. However, if you get Safety Wing Essential and you get the Adventure Sports add-on, which is what I have, not only are you covered for general fitness and training classes like functional training, HYROX classes, weightlifting, but the Adventure Sports add-on will also cover you for martial arts, wrestling, boxing, Muay Thai, jiu-jitsu, and so on and so on. In addition, the Adventure Sports add-on will also cover you for engine capacity in terms of motorbikes and scooters greater than 50cc. So my scooter is 125cc, and that's all you need to get around Fitness Street and Phuket. You don't need a fucking a Ducati to get around Phuket. But if you are correctly licensed, wearing a helmet, all that kind of stuff, then if you have the Adventure Sports add-on and you were to get injured on a high-performance motorcycle, then you would be covered, provided you have the Adventure Sports add-on. So just keep that in mind. It does matter. It does matter, the engine size. I know someone who had a serious motorbike accident only a month, 2 months ago, and their travel insurance would not cover their medical bills, and they had quite a lot of their medical expenses are very, very crazy expensive. It's a lot of money. Very, very unfortunate for that guy. But he was riding a high performance motorbike, and his travel insurance would not cover that motorbike because it's greater than 50cc. If you want to use my link for Safety Wing Essential, there's a barcode I'll throw up on your screen right now, and also you can use the link down below in the pinned comment and in the description. And look, honestly, if you're not ready to take out insurance right now and you're planning to go to Fitness Street or Phuket for training in maybe a few months from now or maybe next year, just come back to this video or come back to any of my videos in the pinned comment. If you click on that link, that is my affiliate link. Yes, as I said, I do get a small commission if you use that link. It does help support the channel, because the money that I get from that, I just make more videos to help more people. That's pretty much how it works around here. That's how it works. It's pretty simple. But most importantly, you are protecting yourself. More than helping my channel, it's about protecting you and keeping you guys covered and having peace of mind when you're coming out here to train, knowing that if something were to happen in the unlikely event, you are covered. Anyway, I didn't mean for this to be a long video. Damn, these videos do get long, but at the end of the day, I just want to look out for you guys, right? Because I'm getting tired of seeing the number of GoFundMe pages that people are setting up to have other people fund their medical expenses because they just couldn't be fucked getting travel insurance and taking responsibility for their own health and well-being in this country. It's a beautiful country, mate. And what, you don't want to pay $100 a month? What for the, and if you go to, and I've been to hospital here, it gets expensive very quickly. I had a dog bite staph infection and I've torn my calves 3 times on this side, 4 times on the other side. Gastric knee, gastroc tears from Muay Thai over the years. I've had my fair share of injuries out here. You don't know when you're going to get injured. Nobody wants to get injured. You can't plan for that shit, but you just want to make sure you've got it just in case you need it. And as I always say, like, you'd rather have travel insurance and not need it than not have travel insurance and need it, which is a much worse position to be in. So it's up to you. You spend all this money booking your flights to come out here, spend all this money on your training. Fuck, $100 a month is all I pay for my travel insurance. It works out to be it's like $5 Australian dollars. I think I pay a little bit more than $100. It works out to be about $4 or $5 Australian dollars per day that I pay. And the moment I land into Thailand, I turn it on. And the moment I leave, I switch it off. It's so easy. So I'll wrap it there. Down below is a link to Safety Wing Essential, the one that I use. I'm just telling you from my own personal experience, I've spent enough time in this place. I've spent enough time at the gyms around here and meeting a lot of people, and even going to hospital with guys just to help them, just to escort them to hospital as a bit of support, and just seeing how much they got to pay in medical fees. I'm like, fuck, you don't have travel insurance? Oh, Jesus. It's a tough learning curve if you have to pay out of your own pocket if you get injured. It's a tough learning curve. It will ruin your holiday. It could even ruin your financial situation. So anyway, I don't mean to be melodramatic. I'm not trying to be melodramatic. I'm just telling you guys straight, like, up to you what you do. You want to come out here, no travel insurance? Up to you. Your life, your decisions. But I just want to make sure you guys have the information and you can make proper informed decisions. Other than that, join the Fitness Street Facebook group. Come to Coco Paradiso for an iced latte. It is July 2026, my friends. The weather is amazing. It is beautiful and sunny. More people need to come here in the low season. It is so quiet around here, right? In terms of not many people here. The class sizes in some gyms are like 15, 20, 25 people. But it's like, dude, look how sunny it is. It's been like this like almost every day for the last 2.5 weeks. It's so beautiful. Anyway, until next time, I'll see you in the future.